Yo, SPF, we're back at you. I'm here with Josh. I'm Peter. This is your midweek sports update.
All right, so today we're going to be talking about our weekly NFL picks, LeBron's return to Cleveland, and the World Series.
And we'll have Jake Longo and Caroline Babbis here in the studio to talk about your Raiders soccer teams. All right, so get into the NFL picks.
8-7. You got 8 games right? Or I have 8 games
You
right.
have 8 games right, and I have 7, so...
I still maintain the 1-game lead.
But we got some pretty good matchups this week.
Very good matchup.
All right, we'll start off. We have the Browns at the Bengals. Your Browns.
Yes, my Browns. Well, I went back and forth on this because I feel like it's going to be a defensive battle. I don't think a lot of points are going to be scored. I think it's going to be 13-10 maybe 17-13, whatever. Brian Hoyer beat Cincinnati last year, although it was in Cleveland. And the Browns have kept it close in 2 divisional losses against Baltimore and Pittsburgh. They lost on last-second field goals both times, but they also beat Pittsburgh 35-10. So I'm going to go Browns close.
Browns have been playing well, and I mean the Browns and the Bengals are both pretty evenly matched.
Pretty
so I'll agree with you on this one. I think the Browns are going to start picking something up a little bit this season because Hoyer is pretty solid.
Yep.
And I personally think he's a better option than Manziel is.
I think, honestly, I agree with you on that. I think if Alex Mack, the Pro Bowl center who's out for the rest of the season, was playing in this game, I feel like it would be Browns easily. But he's not, so we'll see what happens.
All right. And then next we have the 49ers at the Saints.
Well, it's in New Orleans.
Tough place to play.
The Saints are very good at home, subpar on the road. Saints are 4-2 since the 0-2 start. And for the Niners, it's the first time in the Superdome since the blackout against the Ravens.
Forgot about that one.
So I'm going to go Saints by 2 touchdowns.
See, 49ers, they the past couple seasons, obviously we all know they've been so good.
Yes.
And the Saints have been reeling this year.
Okay.
Ever since that whole incident a few years back with Sean Payton being suspended, the bounty scandal, they just haven't been the same team. So I got the 49ers in this one.
All right.
Kaepernick is very solid, and I think they just win.
All right. Next we got the hometown Giants against the Seattle Seahawks.
Ooh, they're playing at Seattle. I think this is a no-brainer. The 12th
absolutely.
man is too strong, and the Giants are pathetic this year, to say the least. There's nothing good going with that team.
Seahawks roll. Bears at Packers.
Oh, this is always a good matchup. Bears and Packers is one of the top matchups in the NFL every year. The Packers, I mean, Aaron Rodgers versus Jay Cutler. Who do you really want as your quarterback?
I would want Aaron Rodgers,
I would want
honestly.
Aaron Rodgers too. I got the Packers in that one.
Well, see, earlier in the season, our first week of doing this NFL picks, our first podcast, we had Packers at Bears for one of the games. And we agreed on the other 4 games, but the Packers at the Bears we disagreed on. I picked the Packers, he picked the Bears, and that's the reason why I have a 1-game lead right now. I'm sticking with the Packers, Aaron Rodgers.
All right, and then next we have the Dolphins at the Lions.
This is a tough game because the Dolphins, they show flashes of a good team, and then the next week they can just blow it. Like they lose to Jacksonville, let's say. I don't see them going into Detroit and winning. Detroit is good at home. Miami's not good away from Miami. So I think the Lions by 2 touchdowns.
Well, Lions, they're a very solid team, but the Lions I can never get a grip, seem to get a grip on every year. Because every year they'll start off hot.
Right.
They're like, oh, this is the year Calvin Johnson gets it done. Matthew Stafford gets it done.
He's hurt
but
right now.
I don't believe him. I just don't see it.
They're an enigma.
Every year they seem to tank going towards the second half of the season. So I'm going to go with the Dolphins on this one. I think they get the job done.
Okay.
So that wraps it up for our NFL picks.
All right. So October 30th, last Thursday, LeBron James played his first regular season home game as a member of the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Your team.
My team.
He's not a front runner, we swear.
No.
He's liked him for a long time.
Yeah.
He's all Cleveland here.
Cavs, Browns, Indians.
So
everything.
we'll believe him.
Yeah. The performance was subpar.
Yes.
By the Cavs.
He had more turnovers than he did points at
Yes.
one point.
The first quarter looked very well. I was like, all right, we got this in the bag. It's the Knicks. Like, come on. But I don't know. They lost to Portland pretty badly last night, too. They're not in sync. But as like a Cleveland guy. Like I'm not from Cleveland, but like I've been to Cleveland numerous times. Whatever, been in and around the city, and just I think it was the greatest day in the city of Cleveland, or at least like sports-wise, since the release of the movie Major League with Charlie Sheen in 1989.
Great movie.
Yes, great movie. The intro gave me goosebumps though. I don't know if you saw it.
I saw that. That was very good, actually.
Yes, both the video thing and then like the intro in general. They had while the names were being announced, they had the song "Coming Home" by Diddy and Skylar Grey, like an instrumental playing in the background.
There was just so much hype around the game.
I think LeBron. People were saying like, "Oh, like he's LeBron James. How could he get nervous?" But
Nerves get to everyone.
the hype has been on that game since the schedule was released. The hype has been on his first home game since he came back.
Yep. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah,
I just think there's so much hype around him, just in general, that especially for this season, it's going to take time for him, Kevin Love, and Kyrie Irving.
Yes.
I think it's going to take time for all of them to gel together and really get the system. And I don't think they have a true coach.
Right.
I mean,
I feel
they just don't, like, they need to bring in a really strong coach for them to click.
I feel like David Blatt's gonna be okay because everyone seems to be giving him like tons of praise wherever like you talk about him, like people like all over.
He does have an easy job coaching LeBron.
Oh yeah, you got a second coach on the floor.
I mean, I think they need someone like a Mark Jackson to come in, someone with that authority and who has been built up and has made a good run with teams of his.
They have very qualified assistants. They have Tyronn Lue, who used to play for in the NBA. They have Larry Drew, who got fired by the Bucks after they swindled Jason Kidd from the Nets. And I feel like it just give him time because if you remember in 2010, the Heat started 9-7. That's not good. They went into the game against the Cavs in Cleveland, December 2nd. They were 9-7, and then they went on a tear.
Well, especially with all like the big three hypes for every team around the league, it takes time for these things to build, and it takes time for them to gel together and to really figure out who will be the guy and who are going to be the side guys.
Yeah, I say give it like a month or two. They'll be okay.
I personally, like, all the odds say they're going to win the championship this year. They are the number one team. I just don't see it yet.
I don't think they're gonna win the championship this year. I can see Eastern Conference championship, and I expect
That's a very reachable
I
goal.
expect Eastern Conference Finals.
And they're too small of a team as well.
Yes.
They don't have a true center.
They could use some
and that was the
size.
same thing in Miami. When you bring LeBron in, you don't have enough money to sign all these guys.
Even that, but when you have LeBron James and now Kyrie Irving especially, they slash. You don't like it wouldn't be good for spacing wise to have like a big 7'3" guy who's like 250 like clogging up the paint. Kevin Love's a perfect fit, I think.
Yeah, he really spreads the court.
Yeah. All right. So now on to the World Series. The Giants on the road get the job done in Kansas City, Game 7.
I picked the Royals in
You were close.
Game 7. I was close.
You were close.
They talked about it a lot on the news. That will be a matchup that happens possibly year after year in the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Those teams are just so good.
Yes. They're the ultimate representations of small ball.
I couldn't agree more.
It was a very classic World Series. I feel like the teams were evenly matched.
Pitching won that series, however.
Pitching won that series, absolutely.
The Giants' pitching staff is bar none the best in the league.
And no knock on the Royals, but they just got outpitched. Barely.
And the Royals are still young.
Oh, yeah.
They're all young guys. This is almost the entire team. It was their first World Series, and most of the players' first playoff appearances.
Right.
Which is actually incredible how they went on that run, starting off 9-0.
Madison Bumgarner.
Oh, he's so clutch now.
He's honestly, I think people say like Clayton Kershaw's the best lefty in the game, but he's got no rings.
Yeah,
he's got no postseason credibility.
And Bumgarner's only 25.
Bumgarner's got 3
rings, and he's 25 years old. How insane is that?
He's the best left-handed pitcher in the game.
I would agree. All right, we have Caroline Babis here from Girls Varsity Soccer in the studio. How are you, Caroline?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well.
All right, first question we got. What was it like to score the game winner against Westfield in the semis?
It's pretty awesome. I obviously felt on top of the world for most of the time after that. I know I couldn't have done it without my teammates, Sophie Russ has been putting unbelievable crosses in the box all season. I was just glad I was there to put it in.
That's awesome. And what did it feel like to have that number 1 on our top 10 place here at school?
That was also awesome. I definitely didn't expect that. It's pretty cool.
It was definitely an amazing shot, and me and Josh were both there to witness it, and it was perfect.
Thank you.
Couldn't have been better.
Yeah. Take us through the final play when D-Friends scores to win the county tournament against Union.
Well, I know Jackie Fahrenholtz won the ball out of the back, passed it to Christina Rogers. Christina Rogers played it to Tori Baliatico, took down the line, who's obviously faster than everybody on the team, so she had an easy cross inside, and D-Friend was there to finish it. We had a lot of opportunities throughout the game, so we weren't really like, oh, this is going to be it, because we just kept missing and missing, so right when she finished it, everybody kind of went nuts.
Yeah, how did that feel? Just the dog pile on the field?
Well, I couldn't make it to the dog pile. I was too dead. I just laid on the ground. I just like flat on the ground. So.
Would you say that is your favorite moment of the season so far, or
Absolutely.
would anything else top that?
100%. I mean, obviously, scoring the winning goal against Westfield was pretty unbelievable as well. But county finals was our greatest success. So.
And that's 5 straight for you too.
That is 5 straight.
That's awesome.
5P. It was pretty awesome.
All right. Well, thanks for having you in the studio.
Thank you, Ryan.
And sign the wall before you leave. Take
All
a
right,
look.
will do. There's too much blue over there, so we'll just
Thank you, Caroline.
Thank you. So now we got Raider preview. So now soccer, they're into the sectional tournament. Mm-hmm. And
They beat Ridge in their first round game of the sectionals.
They beat Ridge in the first round, 2-0. Jassim and who else?
Who else scored?
Jassim had one.
Oh, Justin. Rodriguez.
Justin Rodriguez. So on Friday, the game was rescheduled from tomorrow to Friday. The boys take on North Hunterdon here at the high school. Mm-hmm. They lost to North Hunterdon earlier in the year, so cause for concern.
No, they lost to Hunterdon
Central. Same thing.
But North Hunterdon has been predicted in this sectional tournament to be the dark horse of the tournament.
Really?
They have. We're predicted, even though we're the 3 seed,
right.
But we're behind Westfield just because of the point system.
Yeah.
Yet we're ranked 4th in the state. So, I mean, who really wins?
And
there?
we beat them 3 times.
Yeah.
So.
But we're predicted to win it all, even though we're the 3 seed.
And there might be a 4th meeting of the arch rivals, because if the boys get it done against North Hunterdon and Westfield gets it done against their opponent, then a semifinal will be held at Westfield High School, because Westfield's the 2 and we're the 3. It'll be held at Westfield High School on Monday.
That would be insane.
The first game at Westfield was insane. I can only imagine for the
I honestly think that was the biggest crowd.
Yes.
I know the county final was the biggest game, but I think the one at Westfield was the biggest crowd.
It was definitely the most passionate crowd as well. You even got a...
I think we were more rowdy because we were at their place, playing against them, against their fans.
It's double overtime.
Yeah.
And
what a thriller.
We even got a ovation from Coach Brez.
Oh yeah,
that
for
says
sure.
Something. That says something. And the girls, ranked number 1 in the state now, they're still undefeated with only 2 ties. They play Linden on Friday.
And they played Edison yesterday.
Yes, and
they won 7-1.
7-1.
They had about 100 shots on goal.
100.
They could have won 20-0 easily. We just could not find the back of the net for some reason. But 7-1, we still won.
You found the back of the net enough.
But I don't see anyone getting in the way of the goals this year. It's
unless
insane.
barring something catastrophic happening, like a God forbid an injury, or like they just don't have it one game, I don't see anyone getting in there.
I really don't either. They're so strong, and defensively, and Andrea Leitner, best goalie in the state, by the way.
As a sophomore.
Can't forget about her. She's locked down. Rarely lets one in. So I just see the girls winning it all.
All right. So we got Jake Longo here in the studio from the boys varsity soccer team. Jake, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Good, thank you.
All right, Jake. So Westfield County Final. Take us through that game.
I mean, it was hyped up all week. We knew there was going to be a lot of people there, and there was. It kind of took like the form of my freshman year when we went to St. Benedict's and played them. And it had a different result though. We lost the Benedict's game. We ended up winning against Westfield, and it was a good result.
And how did it feel to have the goal that ended up being the game winner to take home the trophy?
Well, I give all the credit to Jassim because I kind of just tapped it in. He ended up dribbling 2 guys and taking the shot. So
Gotcha.
I don't know. I give it to Jassim. So.
All right. What are your expectations for the rest of the sectional tournament?
We're gonna win it.
Really?
I know we're gonna
Like the
win
confidence.
All right.
Yeah, we're winning the whole state.
And all right, so you think that you'll win it, but who do you think poses the biggest threat to a Raiders sectional title?
Probably Milburn, because there's like a psychological thing about them. The last 2 years we've lost to them, so I mean,
Makes
I mean,
sense.
we've always played them close, so
Yeah.
that's the good thing.
yeah, and we've always been better than them, but for whatever reason we can't seem to get the result.
And what would you say has been your favorite moment of the season so far?
Probably winning the counties, because it's the one game that mattered really.
Solid.
It was awesome.
All right. Well,
All right,
thanks for
thanks,
having me, Jake.
Thanks for having
All right. Sign the wall before you leave.
Let's go.
All right.
Thanks, Jake.
Thanks, Jake.
Later, man. Later.
This has been your midweek sports update with me, Josh Whitman, and Peter Yarum. Support your boys and girls soccer teams as they pursue a sectional championship. We'll see you next week.